Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new video on the channel. And today, I just wanted to say thank you for watching the videos. Means a lot. Um, and yeah, so today we're going to talk about sponsored liquidity versus unsponsored liquidity. We're going to talk pretty much about daily profiles, the ICT daily profiles. And I'm going to give you a live example from today's market. So let me just put myself here in the corner real quick. And there you go. So let me just show you real quick what we were talking about today. All right. So this is obviously an example, live example from today. All right. Today is June 24th, Wednesday. And this is, the best example I can give you guys, literally live markets from today. So as you can see, these are the session indicator. This is the session indicator. And this was Asia session price action, London session price action, and New York session price action. All right. Now, when I come into the morning before New York AM session, right? This is what I've seen. Like this is what I looked at. Now, as you can see right over here, we can take a look at Asia high, Asia low. All right. And what do we notice immediately? Immediately, we can notice that neither Asia high or Asia low has been rejecting or reacting out of any sort of PDRA. Even if we go to the hourly chart, you can see that Asia high just rejected out of nothing and Asia low rejected out of nothing. We have no high time frame for value gap, no liquidity sweep, nothing. The highs and lows of the sessions are not sponsored, right? So, because it wasn't sponsored, that means that nothing sponsored that move. And that means I will be looking for price to hit either Asia high or Asia low. Now, today specifically, right? Let me look for that over here. I just want to show you guys. We had an SMT. So ES has, so as you can see, NASDAQ swept London high, but did not sweep Asia high. So what that means is that when when ES swept Asia high and NASDAQ did not, we have an SMT. That means I will be targeting Asia lows, right? And as you can see, we do end up sweeping Asia lows. Now, if we go to the Nasdaq, because we have that SMT, that means I'm not expecting Asia high to get swept as of right now. At least the drawn liquidity for this specific moment is Asia lows, right? And then if we fast forward time, you can see immediately like the session goes down and sweeps Asia low. Why? Because this one was unsponsored. We didn't reject out of anything. And then we had this SMT over here at the top. So this was the drawn liquidity. And obviously, it was a very, very, very high probability drawn liquidity. Now, after we swept all the sell side, remember, this is unsponsored. The high is unsponsored. Now, yes, ESD did sweep that, but now we can potentially look for a retrace to these highs. And as you can see, NASDAQ does go up and eventually end up sweeping the high as well. So we swept the low, we swept the high. Okay, this is pretty much the market, the daily profile. If the Asia and London session are sponsored, then we will expect New York AM session to continue the move that both the overnight session did, right? But if they are not sponsored, we can expect a reversal. And today we had a reversal towards the lows. And then after sweeping that, we got a reversal towards the highs, right? Let me look for this one. Okay, this is another great example, right? This is from yesterday. As you can see, we had this huge dump in the overnight session. But, all right, if we take a look right over here, we can clearly see that maybe even on the hourly, I can show you guys, I can show that to you. Yeah, perfect. So as you can see, Asia session traded into a bearish hourly fair value gap, right? 15-minute fair value gap as well, okay? And then started trading lower. We had this massive dump, all right? What does this mean? This means that the Asia high is sponsored. This high is the Asia session high, right? And it is sponsored because this is inside a high time frame PD rate, inside a high time frame key level. All right. So when Asia session ends over here, obviously we end up sweeping that as well. And then London session, I'm gonna ignore it for now because it's kind of, we don't really have a London session high today. But as you can clearly see, so because Asia high is sponsored and New York session open right over here, we are not expecting price to go back to Asia highs. Yeah, Asia highs are not swept. We haven't swept them, but we are not expecting them to be swept, at least not right now, or at least not until we hit some key levels, some bullish key levels, sweep some liquidity, and then start building and generating structure to the upside. But right now, this is a sponsored move, a sponsored key level. So I am not expecting. So yesterday, in yesterday's sessions, in yesterday's AM session, I was not expecting price to reach all the way back to Asia high because it was a sponsored move. All right. Let me try to find another example. Let's see over here. Let me see if I find anything. Yeah, over here. Perfect. Or maybe not perfect, but yeah. So this day is not the best example, but as you can see, like, yeah, it's not the best example, but pretty much this move, this Asia lows are not really sponsored. We did sweep some liquidity, so we did end up, like, coming back to it, but it's not the best example. But overall, I hope you get the point of that. Like the last 2 days, if you just use daily profiles, you could have been absolutely perfect, absolutely spot on. The daily bias and the drawn liquidity today was like such a super clear example. SMT is the highest, unsponsored low, and then that's pretty much it. You just aim for that, and that was good. Unfortunately, today I couldn't catch any. Like I took 2 trades and got break even on both. As you can see, price action was a little bit choppy today. Um, yeah, price action was a little bit choppy today in the morning, and I got break even twice on the way to Asia lows. But it is what it is. But I wanted to show this to you guys as in a way to, like, sometimes it can be that simple. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just simple as just looking at what the overnight session did, if it's a sponsored move or not a sponsored move, and then you can, obviously it's not 100% win rate, but you can base your trade IDs and base your draw on liquidity and daily bias on that daily profile thing, which has been very, very helpful in my trading. And I use that a lot. I always, when I sit down in the markets uh, in the mornings, I always look at the daily profile. What did the overnight session do? Did we tap into a high level, a high time frame key level, or are we just trading out of nowhere? Like, what's going on? Okay, are we expecting to reverse towards these highs or lows, or that high or low tapped into a high time frame key level, rejected from there, and had a big move, a distribution from there? So I'm not expecting a move back to the high or to the low, but I'm expecting a continuation of that trend. So this is pretty much the ICT um, daily profiles in a very short, composed video. I don't want to make it like too crazy, too informational, too, whatever. So this is it. All right. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you intend on using that in your trading. That's very, very helpful. Will help you a lot of times. So yeah, have a good day, guys, and see you in the next one.